Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to try to break our existing, replica set, but only majorly working on the default one, okay, which is using managed label. We'll also talk about breaking the ones which is using that expression, but we will see it later point of time on the next video maybe. So first thing is that I want to remove a pod from your replicated host service. Like for example, let's take this Nginx replica set. So that's the first one which we created, Nginx replica set, right? So what I'm going to do is, like, as you see that the desired is 2 and current is 2 and ready is 2. So what happens if I delete one of this pod accidentally? Let's see that. So let's just use hoopctl, delete pod name. Now you can see that the pod has been deleted, but again, you can see one more container would be created to replace this. So if you just see the RS, you can see that one more container got replaced. Oh, I think I deleted the wrong one, is it? No, I could delete the right one, Nginx replica. Now you can see that I'll try to delete it again. Let's see one more time. So when I see that, you can see the ready state has moved to 1. And this guy is over here. There's not enough space for you to see it. That's why it is having this problem. And let me expand this. Let me bring it down. Yeah, now you should have enough space to see. So let me delete this again. So now you can see that it says creating container immediately, and it will start the container, right? You will see that. And then the pod starts running. So this is what exactly happens if you delete a pod while it is part of your replica set. Okay, your replica set will manage your pod and make sure that the pod is correctly leveled and make sure that the pod is in the running state. And you can see this if I type this command, the ready is 2, right? So this is what it really means when we talk about replica set over here. Now, I've given you the commands which I used over here on the GitHub, so you can also check that out. The next one which we are going to do is, like, we are going to remove the label name of a pod which is used by the replica set. Now, you know that, sorry, I got stuck up in a call, so sorry about that. So, I was about to remove the label of a pod which was used by the replica set. So the replica set basically uses the name of your label to confirm that that's the pods which needs to maintain. So if you do describe on the name of your replica set over here, the default one which we created, you can see that it is using the label name over here, but this is a label name which is available as part of the pod template. But what it is using is in the selector over here. So this is app equal to Nginx. So if I Control C this wash command with -o wide, you can see, I'll just increase the size a little more. So you can see that, just do show labels. So now you can see that these two pods on the end over here has app name Nginx and environment as developer. But the thing is that the selector only looks for this one. So what I will do is, like, rather than deleting this pod, I will work on changing the label of the pod. So kube control label pod, name of the pod, and in this pod what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to do app minus, so which is going to remove this particular label. So now when I do that, I get the status here. Now I have two desired node, but one is ready over here. Why? Because you can see that the moment you remove the label, it doesn't matter for the replica set. For the replica set, what it makes a count of is the number of selectors which is available. So selector will look for this particular app equal to Nginx tag, And all it'll look whether the app is Nginx tag is running with this 2 nodes or not. So that's basically what it looks for. So the moment you change this label to something else, so it feels like that you've deleted it. So it creates another one to replace it. That's what it happens. Now what we can do is like, let's rename the label one more time and add the label with the same name. So for example, previously I removed it, right? Now I'm giving Nginx over here. So let's see what happens now. Now you can see that I've changed the label name to Nginx. Now the one which was created extra is gone. So now it again came back to 2. And the one it does created in seconds, so which is over here, that is gone. And you can see 16 minutes is coming over here. And it basically has this one aligned automatically. And it maintains this 2 as ready. So this is what happens when you actually rename it back again. Now let's talk about the next one. So let's manually add pods with the name of the label and see what happens. Like for example, we have renamed the label. We have removed the name of the label, right? What if we add a pod manually? Like how do we add a pod manually? Using the kubectl run command. So we are creating a web server over here, -images, image equal to Nginx, -label equal to app equal to Nginx. So I'm giving the label name as this, and -restart equal to never. Now I'm creating a new pod. Sorry, it's labels. So now it is creating a new pod over here. You can see that pretty much. Don't see any pod created over here. So you can see that there is nothing gets created over here when I execute this command. You can see that it is creating, it's getting terminated. It's creating, but it's terminated. It's so fast that it happened within 2 seconds. That's why you're not able to see it terminating. You see that? It's getting terminated. Why? Because every time you create it, right, it becomes 3. So this becomes 3, and it basically replica sets like, oh no, I have one extra one creating. I don't need it. So it is basically terminating that instance over here. If you see the description of this kubectl description, sorry, describe. I forgot the command. So describe, and you can actually see a lot of deletion went on over here. So this is basically your the one which we have recently worked with. As you can see, successfully deleted web server pod. Why it is deleting? Because it's already has this pod, running so to the maximum level. So it doesn't want to allow anything with the same label name. So you have to be very careful when you create any pods with a label name which is already used by a replica set. So that's basically will be thinking that you're creating a pod for that particular label for that application. So this is to make sure that you don't create such pods with a similar label name. Now let's talk about the last one. It's about removing and recreating replica set without deleting the pods and with deleting the pods. So we will see both options right now. We'll remove one of the my replica ones. I think I'll remove my multi-container one. So let's just talk about removing this multi-container one. So how do I remove multi-container one? All I have to do is like kube control, delete, replica set, name of the replica set which I want to remove, which is basically only till here. This is the name of the replica set, and you have to give -cascade equal to false. So which means that it is not going to cascade the removal of the pods when you remove the replica container. So we'll just enter this. You can see that it says replica container deleted. So when we do replica container rs get, you can see that replica container has been removed, but your pods are still running. So what we will do, we will use kube control, apply, -F, and then we will recreate this multi-container one. And I just need to find the name of this multi-container one. Yeah, got it. The file name advanced -rs.yaml. So this is going to create the replica set. It's not going to bother anything with your pods. Pods are already running, so it won't bother. You can see that replica set is created. Now let's just remove the replica set with cascade true, which is going to remove all your pods as well. Okay, so the true is depreciated, so I can use background. Great. So it says like replica set not found. So let's verify this if this is the name. Okay, it's gone. You can see that it's gone to terminating, and it has pushed it to background. Actually, it has executed this using this command only, but it was telling us that this background is another option which you can give, and you can see that multi-container is deleted. So it has removed the replica set, and it has removed all your pods as well. So I will update your document with background over here so that you don't get confused. So done. I've updated it to background, so it should be the command which you are planning to execute. Thank you again for watching this video. Now you know how to remove, how to trouble your replica set. Do practice this one more time or a couple of more times until you're familiar with what's happening with your replica set. Thank you again for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.